All right, as far as I can tell, we are really close to the canyon where those two men found the strange creature at Dead Man's Hole. We're here along the highway, and pretty lonesome highway here. And just up the road, the terrain map shows me that just up the road is Dead Man's Hole, that old natural spring. We're going to see how close we can get to it. And we're going to see if we can even hike into that canyon a little bit. We'll see if we can find the actual canyon where those hunters found this creature. So, the story goes, Edward and Charles, they were two hunters. They were from Julian, California. They came all the way out here, I assume with some horses or a pack mule. They were hunting up here, just north of Warner Springs. And they came upon a spring, natural spring, to take a drink of water. Then they realized where they were. When they saw that canyon, the spring, and they saw the tracks of the Butterfield stagecoach, they realized this is Dead Man's Hole. This is the place where they found so many dead bodies over the years. They found a body floating in the water and found these people murdered, strangled. So they decided to go looking in the canyon, actually. What the hell? What the fuck was that? Sorry, pardon my French. I heard a noise down here in the canyon. This is the canyon. I mean, this must be close to the actual canyon that they went into, but according to the story, back then anyway, we were talking about a deep canyon with some really steep walls. The sunlight didn't really get in there much, so they went hiking in there with their rifles, and at some point they heard something making a... Dude, I heard something. Let's get closer to the road. As they went into the canyon, they heard something making a terrible racket. And something was heavy. It was moving real fast through that canyon, climbing over rocks and boulders. And so Edward, one of them, he climbed up on the canyon wall to take a look. And he saw a creature. It looked like a bear from behind. Only it wasn't moving like a bear. It was swinging its arms more like a monkey. But it had that long, shaggy brown fur. So he fired his rifle in the air to try to scare the thing, to buy some time. He fired his rifle. The thing turned and looked at him, and he said its face, it looked human. His face was the only part that didn't have any fur on it. So the two of them, Edward and Charles, they chased this thing down, and the thing started climbing up the canyon walls toward a dark, shadowy, looked like the entrance to a cave. And so they fired at it, fired their guns, and they managed to hit it. Fell down to the canyon floor, fell dead. So they went up, they got a closer look. They said its feet were huge, and its face looked really human-like, except it had long fangs like a bear. So they climbed up to that cave to take a look inside. They went inside the cave. They found in one corner of the cave, there was a matted down pile of leaves and sticks and grass that must have been that thing's bed. And then on the other end of the cave, they found this stinking pile of bones. Bloody bones, some of them with some of the sinew still on them. And some of them were animal bones, sheep and horses and cows even, stolen from the local ranchers. But then some of them they could tell were human bones. And they saw on a ledge along the cave wall, they saw 8 human skulls lined up on that ledge. Like trophies almost. That's when they realized that creature, I mean, it had been hunting everything it could find, man or beast out here. And apparently the human bodies that it left behind, something must have scared it off, and that creature just left these bodies for dead down by the natural spring, down by Dead Man's Hole. So when they realized that, they thought, if there's one of them, there could be 2 of them, 3 or 4. This creature might have a mate. It might have children, pups, out there somewhere. And when they come back, they find him dead. They're not going to be happy. So, you know what? We better get out of this cave right now. So they did. They went back to Julian. They told the story. But we don't know if any more of those creatures survived somewhere out here. Out here in the wilderness. Somewhere out in one of these caves. One of these canyons, caverns. But you know what? We're going to go up the road. We're going to go all the way up the road to Dead Man's Hole, and we're going to see if we can get close to it. And we're going to see if we can actually find that canyon where Edward and Charles say they found that creature of Dead Man's Hole.